Hello guys, it's Vedasak here again. Now, of course, I wanted to talk about, well, a question that somebody asked me, of course, that I am kind of answering right now. And they just basically asked me to make a video on it, and so here I am. And what the question, of course, was, what would I prefer? Would I prefer just one high-end silicone doll like the real doll that I have, or would I prefer to have, let's say, three TPE thermoplastic elastomer dolls? Well, how should I put it? I would most likely prefer just having one high-end silicone doll like the real doll that I have, and I will explain. Now, in your opinion, you might think, well, what if I had like two TPE dolls, that are kind of cheaper than having to pay like six or $7,000 for a real doll per se. You know, you think it would be more fun because then you can kind of have a threesome, right? And you have more variety. But it's kind of silly talking about this, but I am serious. And the reason why is because even though there's more variety, and I could have the option of having threesomes for cheaper than having to buy a real doll from the real doll site. And the reason is just simply because a real doll is just better. That this it feels more realistic, and the real doll's joints are more flexible in a way that it's easier. She is easier to use in bed than a TPE doll. And even if you have, let's say, multiple TPE dolls, kind of like I stated in one of my other videos rating on, the doll types, part of the reason why it's kind of pointless to get another TPE doll, besides the fact that you want a threesome, is just simply because of the fact that even if you get another TPE doll that looks different or is a different height or in size, that doll is still pretty much gonna feel the same. It's still gonna be pretty much the same experience as the other doll that you have that is made out of TPE material. And even if you get a TPE doll from a different manufacturer, I mean, the material is a bit different. I mean, doll vendors tend to make, their dolls a bit differently from each other, but like as far as like overall differences, there really is not a whole lot of difference between the TPE dolls themselves. I have been seeing lately, actually, and I did want to talk to you guys about these videos on, oh, which TPE doll is the best, blah, blah, blah. Well, I hate to break it to you, but, it's kind of the same. Every doll is kind of the same. It just kind of depends on your preference of how the doll looks and how heavy it is and how tall it is. I mean, they're pretty much the same. They all feel the same because they're made out of the same material, and I think you get my points. I mean, it's all these dolls are pretty much the same, even though I've been seeing these sites that are trying to point out all these TPE dolls that are supposedly better than the other one for some reason. Yeah, I mean, if you buy one, you've pretty much got them all, in my opinion, at least in a sense. I mean, it's pretty much the same thing. And if you, let's say, buy five dolls that are made out of TPE, you might as well have just waited and saved money for an even better one, like from Real Doll or from Synthetics and a couple other high-end doll sites. So, as far as that goes, that's basically my opinion. You can kind of do what you want because, in a way, I do think it would be more fun to role play with multiple dolls versus just one or two. Because you have, especially if you have dolls that are of a different race and likeness. You might give them different personalities if that's what you're into. In a way, I guess that might be a bit more fun and more cheap if you're getting dolls like that. But yeah, I mean, as far as the sex goes, I mean, it's all the same. It really is. And if I let's say had more than two or three dolls, especially if they were from the same manufacturer or of TPE material, I would think that I probably had spent, or how should I put it, wasted money. I would have some weight. I would feel like I just wasted my money on a doll that is clearly the same as the other one that I bought before. But that's just my opinion. You can do what you want. I'm not here to judge, of course. That's part of the reason why I made these videos in the first place. But that's just my opinion. But if you want to ask me more questions or you want to see more of my videos on a doll topic and learn some more about taking care of your doll, you can watch some more of my other videos. And I'll see you guys later. Bye.